Topping today's news, following last week's tragedy, police are reporting another infant death. Life-saving blood is in short supply, creating a crisis at the hospital. An update on how the Immigration Department is dealing with hundreds of migrants now on Inagua, and NIB teaming up with Inland Revenue to encourage business licensing. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jcn Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. Another case of infant death being investigated by police here in New Providence. A 3-month-old baby boy was found unresponsive at a daycare center in southern New Providence on Monday morning. According to police, the baby had been dropped off at the daycare center by his mother sometime around 8 a.m. The daycare's director, while making routine checks, discovered that the infant appeared to be unresponsive. He was subsequently transported to hospital via ambulance. However, after efforts to revive him were unsuccessful, he was declared deceased. Police say there were no visible signs of trauma. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. This is the second incident where a 3-month-old was found unresponsive. Just last Monday, police launched an investigation into the death of 3-month-old baby Tanisha Milford, who was reportedly found unresponsive around 11 a.m. while in the care of a male family friend while the mother was at work. That male, 29-year-old Kirkwood Thompson, a boyfriend of the child's mother, was charged with manslaughter on Monday and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until he returns to court on March 9th to receive a voluntary bill of indictment. In news from the health front, all blood banks in the country are in critical need of blood. This coming from Public Hospitals Authority Managing Director Dr. Aubinette Roll on Monday, as she told the media that there are challenges with obtaining certain types of blood. Dr. Roll's comments come on the heels of controversy surrounding the death of wife and mother of 3, Kenise Darville, who made a desperate plea for blood a little over a week ago.
What we're experiencing. And I want to stress that there are blood banks at the Princess Margaret Hospital and there are blood banks by other private institutions. They are facing the same thing. So we are challenged in the amount of blood based on our population. So we may have a lot of a type of blood, but it may not be suited for the particular patients that are there. That is why our approach, listening to the cry of the community, understanding what's happening within our facilities, really going to the community so the community can understand and also assist us. So it's the various type of blood. So we are in critical need of blood.
Dr. Roll says the only way to fix the problem is with the support of the public.
Through their one donation, they have the ability to take care of 3 lives. And so persons real to understand that we are in a critical situation, and the only way to get bypass that is with their support. We always had a list of persons that we call donors, but they have aged and they now have multiple diseases, and so they can no longer donate. And so we need fresh blood, right? And it's very difficult. We have a lot of people in the population with tattoos that can't donate, right? All of the variables. So what we really need to do is to educate, and that's the information, and then also engage persons to become partners so that we can always have blood in any of the healthcare facilities that you go to.
The Princess Margaret Hospital blood bank hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with the last donor accepted at 4:30 p.m., and on Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., with the last donor taken at 3:30 p.m. For further information on how to become a blood donor, contact the Princess Margaret Hospital's blood bank at 502-7822, 502-7822. Meanwhile, it has been brought to the attention of officials at the Ministry of Health and Wellness that there have been many challenges that have deterred many Bahamians from donating blood. There are reports of donors' cars being towed away and others being turned away when they came to donate. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville telling reporters before the weekly cabinet meeting this morning that the ministry is looking for new locations to conduct blood drives.
Yes, well, first of all, there was a challenge at the blood bank, and a lot of patients and relatives came to donate. Some were eligible, some were not eligible. We are now in a process pushing very diligently to have blood drives at public places. I think the managing director of the hospital clearly indicated that we're planning to do a drive at the Mall Marathon and other locations throughout the country, which would debundle the influx at one small location and begin to have a strategy for collection. And so that's being done as we speak. And I think the managing director yesterday in a press conference spoke specifically about some of the challenges and what is being done by the hospital to begin now to do a more aggressive blood drive at different locations outside of the Princess Margaret Hospital.
The last public blood drive was held in November last year at the Mall at Marathon. Over the weekend, a 50-foot wooden vessel carrying approximately 395 Haitian migrants was detained by the U.S. Coast Guard in the area of Kisal Bank. And according to U.S. media, this is one of the biggest human smuggling incidents ever in the region. The migrants have been transported to Inagua for processing. Video of the crowded boat in the ocean circulated on social media on the weekend. Health officials have expressed concerns. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Dowell, telling reporters Tuesday morning that the concern is about the possibility of infectious diseases and any other issues that may affect the migrants.
We have en route a field hospital for Inagua. It's a 20-bed field hospital. And this morning at 10 o'clock, I have a team of 5 nurses and 3 doctors who will be en route to Inagua to begin the necessary screening processes. While that is happening, we will be in Inagua looking at the current medical clinic in Inagua because there's some need for some infrastructural upgrades. So I have a group of engineers who will be en route as well. But the field hospital is absolutely essential. After speaking with the Minister of Immigration, we're beginning to realize that what we're experiencing now may be something that may explode. And we intend to ensure that we do not put an excessive burden on the healthcare system in Inagua by bringing our field hospital in the area with our doctors to be able to separate what is happening with immigration from the normal health services that we provide for the residents of Inagua.
12 immigration officers from New Providence have been sent to Inagua to join the complement of officers already there. When asked if the island has sufficient supplies and facilities for the number of migrants, Press Liaison Officer for the Department of Immigration, Assistant Director Rudolph Ferguson says all migrants are being housed comfortably with dignity and respect.
We have a team of immigration officers on the ground in Inagua. We have adequate housing accommodations for all of the migrants there. Presently, we have in custody 395 migrants, irregular migrants. They're being screened by the Ministry of Health, and then in conjunction with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, every effort being made to repatriate them to their homeland. I must also say in that same grouping, 2 Cuban nationals were turned over to us. The plan is to repatriate them from Inagua, and we want to repatriate them as quickly as possible. You must appreciate the fact that we must go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ultimately with the Haitian authorities. Once that has been completed, they will be out of here.
As the number of migrants being captured and repatriated has been increasing, there has been concern by residents that this will become a norm. Assistant Director Ferguson says while they cannot speak to the future, all matters will be addressed as they arise. He assures the public that there is no shortage of manpower within the Immigration Department. He expects all migrants to be repatriated by the end of the week. It is a red-letter day at the Department of Inland Revenue as the agency joins forces with the National Insurance Board to assist business owners do business better. Inland Revenue's Senior Communications Officer, John Williams, telling more about this collaboration, which will continue over the next 2 days.
So it's the first of our kind. Our units and our departments have joined together with the business license process and getting requirements for things that you need for applying for new license or even renewing. And NIB is on our grounds today to help persons who come here, to let them know that there's another avenue to do all of the things that they do at their location, which is their ESS portal, tax compliance certificates, and all of the like. There's been a lot of miscommunication, lack of education on the topics, and NIB and the Department of Inland Revenue are trying to move the government process forward in terms of having everything electronic and moving with the times. So the idea is to show and educate Bahamians that Every process you can now do electronically. You can do it online. You can do it from any smart device. We're trying to eliminate persons coming into offices and standing on long lines.
As the COVID-19 pandemic brought about more entrepreneurs who have joined the business world in selling goods and services, the Department of Inland Revenue is advising that once conducting any kind of business with monies exchanging hands, business owners must be licensed. Mr. Williams is encouraging residents operating without a license to apply.
We want persons to know that when you're conducting business, any form of business, as long as you're doing an exchange of money, it is a business, and we want you to come out and apply for a business license. The process is free. A new business license is free. Business license renewals are free up until January 31st. And they're actually valid until March 31st, which is your payment deadline date. We also want to remind business owners that business licenses now expire December 31st of every year.
NIB Public Relations Manager Tony Williams says this is a convenient one-stop shop for both your NIB and Inland Revenue business needs.
It's the top of the year and businesses are renewing their licenses. And we thought that it would be good for us to partner with Inland Revenue here, because at some point in time, every employer has to touch bases with Inland Revenue and also with NIB. And so for persons that are coming in and they have to do business with Inland Revenue and NIB today, you can get it all done here at Inland Revenue on Carmichael Road. People are happy to see us here. They're stopping by both our desks and they're getting their businesses complete today. Encourage you to come on down. For businesses that have not signed up yet for NIB's Employer Self-Service Portal, we encourage you to come down to find out about the Employer Self-Service Portal. We have live demos that we will be doing on site, and we want to share the benefits with you because it's a tool that every business should be using. You don't have to come to NIB anymore to pay your contributions or to submit your statements. You can do it all from your ESS portal, right at your businesses, from home, wherever.
The team of Inland Revenue and NIB will be stationed at the Department of Inland Revenue in the shops at Carmichael Road Plaza, Carmichael Road, until Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., to assist business owners. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.